Welcome to Lost Culture, your one-stop destination for everything pop culture. My name is Aston, and I'll be your host for today's episode of Lost Movie News. Now, make sure you like, comment, or subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, it's going to be a great episode. We got a lot of movie news for you guys lined up today. Let's jump right into it. So today we had two new trailers for Baywatch. We had an international trailer and we had a UK trailer, so they're both technically international. We got two trailers today. One I actually like a lot better. I think the international one the international one may have been the one without all the hip hop music. I actually like that one much better than the one with the hip hop music. Even though the one with the hip hop music, they actually kind of show more extended the scenes or whatever. Like some of the scenes we seen, like we just rescuing the girl from the boat. We actually seen an extended scene from there. We see when he actually grabbed her out. We see she basically like, oh, you can have me right now. He just throws her in the water and saves the next person. We see a lot of footage was just rehashed footage we've seen in the other trailer. But I really did enjoy these trailers. Both these trailers were equally funny. Like I said, I like the one without the hip hop music a little bit more. Either way, both trailers were really good. Basically the same trailer overall, but one just had more music in it. And I really enjoyed them. I love to see not Ashton Kutcher. I don't know, Zac Efron's character. I like his role. I like The Rock's role. I love how I forget which trailer was which. It's crazy they would release two trailers on the same day. But one trailer, he's looking at the girl. He's trying to look at the girl's face, but he can't because they're like, oh, but they're just so close to your face. Like that was a pretty funny scene. The scene we're actually getting a reference now. We've seen these pictures on the Rock's Instagram with him and Zac Efron were actually having like the pull up off and the strongman contest basically. We've seen that, and I love the scene at the end of the trailers, the end for both trailers, where the cop is actually talking to him like, "What are you guys doing?" He said, "We were doing what did he say? A lifeguard chase down." He like, oh, that's illegal. And The Rock basically like, well, good thing we aren't cops. So I love seeing that. I love when Zac Efron brings up the fact like it's real tongue in cheek. He's like, this is like some corny show that's some corny TV show or whatever. So I love when they see that. I love them taking shots at each other. They're going in a real 21/22 Jump Street mode, and I really enjoy it. I think this is really going to be a great movie. It's directed by Seth Gordon. It's not due out till the 26th of May this year. I'm definitely going to be there to check it out. Probably going to do a recap or a review of it and have it posted to the show to here. And that's what we have for this story. Both these trailers were amazing. I'm going to have the links for them inside the description. So check the description box if you want to have a quicker link to these trailers, and it'll be easy for you. I'm also going to do a reaction to one of the trailers also. Now, going on from there, we have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. We got pictures, we got two pictures. One is of Drax and Star-Lord, and one is just of Star-Lord. He's kind of like, he has a suit on, so he's probably in outer space or something, because he had his helmet on, he had a jetpack on. I feel like that jetpack is new. I don't think he had the full-blown jetpack. I remember he had the boots, and I don't remember if his jetpack was the same. I'll probably have to rewatch Guardians tonight and see how his back was. I don't remember actually having a full backpack. I feel like the boots were more of it. And I'm pretty sure in his image, he actually has a jetpack. Now, in the first image with Drax, I really do enjoy. There's not too much going on. You see Star-Lord just talking. There's not too much going on. There's no really description of it. And for the next image, where he's in the tunnel looking at, I don't know what he's actually looking out at. It's definitely something we're not used to. Well, a lot of things we aren't used to, but we know what's definitely with Guardians. There's a lot of stuff going on. Notice we missing. We have Gamora missing. We have Rocket, Groot, everybody's missing. Like there's nobody. It's really just Drax and Star-Lord, and like. Don't really give us too much information about it, but the Star-Lord pictures I really do like. The one when he's out inside the tunnel. I definitely enjoyed that photo. It's my favorite of the two. It's cool to see that. There's more information about Guardians. I probably should have moved this story down a little bit further, closer to the other story, but we'll get there when we get there. Now, our next story is going to be Pirates of the Caribbean 5, Dead Man Tells No Tales. This movie is also due out on the 26th of May. So this movie is going to definitely be going up against Baywatch. I definitely have Baywatch to win over this film. I don't even know why they're doing it, honestly. I don't know what's the real reason for them to do it. But, hey, they're doing it either way. They're going to decide. No one's really asking for Pirates of the Caribbean 5. I know I wasn't. I don't know if you guys were. I don't know if you guys are excited about Pirates of the Caribbean 5. I probably will go see it. I normally see all the Pirates of the Caribbean. I do like the first couple. I don't remember. I remember like the first three. I don't remember. I remember the first three or the first two. I don't know. I remember like two of them, and then the rest of them were just like a blur. The other two just a blur to me. Like I really don't remember what's going on in these films. At least with this one, we know that we got Orlando Bloom coming from. We got Keira Knightley coming back, at least for a short cameo in a mid-credit scene. So we know that Disney is now moving the mid-scene or the after-movie credits from not only Marvel, but over to their other properties too, which I think would be cool to do. It's working out pretty well for them. Well, I don't know if it's working out well or not. I think it would work out well. It works for everything else. I know I actually stick around for movies like, dang, I wish Star Wars would have a mid-scene credit or after-scene credit. Yeah, you know what I mean. So I think it'd be cool to see stuff like that. And who else do we got? So this time the bad guy is going to be Captain Salazar, played by Javier Bardem. So that's going to be, he's a really CGI. You know, sometimes there's super CGI bad guys, sometimes there isn't. It's always here and there. I think the first one wasn't CGI, second one was, third one wasn't, fourth one was, and now they just said, forget it. We're just going to CGI it. It doesn't matter. We're just going to CGI it. It doesn't matter. Which is cool. It's their prerogative. I don't know how many people are actually going to see it. It's the same film that, if anybody remember, that it had to be delayed due to the fact that Johnny Depp kind of ripped his hand in half or something like that. It was something crazy that went on where they had to fly him back to the U.S. just so he can get his hand operated on. And obviously the movie's done filming. Everything's okay. Everything's okay to our knowledge. Disney doesn't have any problems with it. They're pushing the film, and they're actually going heads up against Baywatch. So Disney actually has a lot of trust in this film, or a lot of confidence in this film, and only time will tell how good this film actually is. Only time will tell. Now, going on from there, we got the DCEU. Now, a lot of things are going on in this story. We got the Aquaman, Justice League writer basically coming out and said Aquaman and Justice League is a lot funner than Batman vs Superman and Suicide Squad. Even though, in my opinion, I feel like Suicide Squad should have been a fun movie. Suicide Squad should have been fun. It was a lot more fun than Batman vs Superman, but it should have been a whole lot more. The whole cast was bad guys. There's no reason that movie should have been so yes, it could have been dark, but it could have been fun and everything. And I just wish they would have did better with it. I'm always amped up for these films, but they just never turn up for me. I say that almost every episode, I feel like, but this is really true. Now, going on from there, we got Ben Affleck coming out talking about the Batman. I don't know what happened last week or what he was going through last week, but he definitely was not feeling the Batman. He came out and said if the script isn't where he wanted to be at, he wasn't doing the film, flat out. The week before that, he said, I'm not rushing my film. My film will come out when it comes out, regardless of what Warner Brothers says. Now, this week, he's kind of backtracking everything. So maybe everything got figured out with Warner Brothers, and now he's on a point where yes, we're delayed a little bit. The film is delayed. We're not shooting when we want to shoot. We're pushed back. But as far as the script and everything coming around, it's in a better place. It's all good. Everything will work out. This movie will be coming out. And I don't know what it is. obviously, whatever he did, he basically probably just threatened to walk off, like he's not going to do the film. And DC can't have a DC universe without not Superman, but without Batman. It won't work. It just will not work. And without Ben Affleck is a great director. So once everything heard about Ben Affleck, this is really just, I think, a lot of like PR control. They're just trying to clean up. They're trying to clean up everything that's going on, trying to get rid of some of those doubts in people's mind. Because obviously, when Ben Affleck comes out and say, after they made him executive producer of these films and everything, he comes out and say, "Oh, if this script doesn't come out well, I'm not doing it." Who's writing the script? He's writing the script. So if he's like, "Oh, my script isn't good," it's obviously no one just comes out and say, "Oh, my script is bad." Like, something was going on behind the scenes where he basically had to fight to get what he wanted. Obviously, he got what he wanted, and now the things are back on track. Everything is moving forward. Filming's a little bit delayed, but I'm pretty sure they can work with that. They had like a year before the film was even due to release anyway, so they're good. Like they're good. And going on from there, we got, are the female superhero, like are the female cast members going to be the future of the DC universe? Which is a good question to ask. I seen this story, I think it was Green Rant who basically published the story, and it makes sense if we think about it. In the last couple films, everyone's favorite characters have always been the female characters, the woman characters. I'm not trying to be sexist when I say female, but I just don't. But the female cast members have always been the shiners. Like, who we had? Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman in Batman vs Superman. One of my favorite parts of Batman vs Superman was Wonder Woman and the way they portrayed her and how she came along. Now, hopefully that carries on to her own film that's coming out later on this year, and they keep that strong. Now, in Suicide Squad, overall, I wasn't really excited about it. Like, I was excited for the film to come out, but once the film came out, I wasn't really like, it wasn't really what I was expecting. But Harley Quinn stood out to me. I loved Harley Quinn. I love what Margot Robbie did with the character. Obviously, Warner Brothers loved what happened. Obviously, a lot of people liked it because now Harley Quinn was supposed to get her own film. They went from that to pushing it to, oh, we're going to do a full Gotham City Sirens film based basically around Harley Quinn, and we're going to let Margot Robbie actually be executive producer. I know she's executive producer. I know she's executive producer. I don't know if she's also directing, but for sure, she's going to be executive producer, and it's cool to see that. It's cool to see once these characters are big enough that it can go. And it makes sense because going off the stats right now, 60% to 40%, so 60% of the viewers going to sci-fi action films are actually female people buying tickets to go see these films. The other 40% are males. Now, watching TV, it's 50%. Like all the superhero films, 50% of people viewing these shows are female people, and the other half is males, obviously. Now, going on to even like the video games, 44% of the video game audience are females. So it makes sense that they need to start catering these films towards females, not all towards males, because the people they're really selling to are the women. Like, they're selling to women, even though they've shown the statistics are actually starting to balance out with the males coming up. It's just proven as of right now that female are the majority in audience that they should be aiming for. And it makes sense. That's who they should be aiming for. That's what they should do. Now, going from there, that's really all we have for DCEU. I'm hoping everything turns out well. I can't wait for Jason Momoa to step out as Aquaman. We just got a new image of the team gearing up yesterday, minus who are we minus? Superman, minus Superman. But we get the rest of the team, and I really can't wait for that film to turn out. Like, I hope that film is good. I'm hoping Wonder Woman is good, because these are two films I'm actually excited to go see this year. I'm really excited to see these films. Same thing last year. I was excited for not Justice League, but Batman vs Superman and Suicide Squad, and we've seen what happened. I'm hoping they got everything together. They fixed a couple things, and it turns out better. Now, going on from there, we got Star Trek. So Star Trek, The number 4, we don't know if it's happening or not. We had Zoe Saldana coming out. She basically said she would love to come back to the franchise. She doesn't think they should just cancel the whole franchise due to the fact that one film didn't produce the way they wanted to. Now, I'm gonna give you some numbers right here. So, Star Trek 1, the J.J. Abrams reboot, it brought in 385.7 million worldwide. Star Trek 2 Into Darkness brought in 467.4 million, while Star Trek Beyond brought in 343.5 million. Obviously, that's a dip right there. They definitely was expecting much more, expecting higher numbers than 343 million worldwide. And that makes sense. It makes sense because if we look at this, they were rising. And the issue with Star Trek Beyond may have been a lot of things happening. We know J.J. Abrams dropped out. We know they let the writer be the director. Then at last minute they pulled him off. They put Simon Pegg as the director. And with all these director changes, people might have been really concerned about what was going on with the film. It makes sense. And then that first trailer was horrible with the Beastie Boy trailer. A lot of people had problems with that trailer. So with that trailer being what it was, and it definitely is the reason for people to be worried about a film. And I think that might have affected the box office. And hopefully next year, or whenever they decide to do Star Trek 4, it makes sense that they should have everything figured out before they just start moving parts, before they announce things. They need to be sure with the director, sure with who's doing what, and when they're going to do it. Now that's all we have for that story. Now moving on to our next story, we have Avengers Infinity Wars. So this film is due out the 4th of May, 18. May the 4th be with you. Maybe we get an episode 8 trailer attached to it. That'd be perfect, man. That'd be perfect. But going on with there, we got Chris Hemsworth coming out. He's talking about how he does not have a script yet. The film is due out in like he's due to start filming in like 2 weeks or something, or 2 months or something like that, and he has not seen the script. And he says it's basically normal as far as Disney goes. The Marvel films, they do not see the scripts ahead of time. They don't see the scripts until they show up, and when they show up, it's time to get to work. And that's pretty acceptable for like Marvel films, because if anything gets out, it's going to be leaked. It makes sense because Marvel's trying to keep everything under the bag. Like if one page leaks, it's going to be everywhere. Everybody's going to know what's going on. Everyone's already excited about this film. We still don't know if Spider-Man is going to be in it, or Rocket, or Groot. But we do know 2 Guardians that actually are going to be in the film. We know Star-Lord is going to be in the film, and we know Gamora are definitely in the film. Zoe Saldana came out speaking in an interview, and she basically stated she's going to be in the film. She hates being in the green in the green paint, but once she shows up, she's so excited to be around the rest of her castmates and everything. So it's pretty cool to see that, about her mentioning that. There's still rumors that Rocket is in the film, so is Groot, but they haven't been confirmed yet. And I'm pretty sure they're in the film if Gamora and Star-Lord is in the film. I'm trying to figure out a way how they can fit those 2 without fitting the rest of the crew in the film. Doesn't make sense to me, but at the end of the day, it could always be a way for them to figure out their own little way around it, I guess. I'm hoping everything gets figured out, and I can't wait to see this film. Like I said, it's coming out the 4th of May, and that shouldn't come out till next year. So it wouldn't even be episode 8 trailer. Maybe it'd be a young Hondo. Yeah, a young Han film. That's coming out next year, right? Yeah, because it's episode 8, then young Han Solo. Yeah, so maybe we get to see the young Han Solo trailer when this film come out. That'd be a pleasure to see. And that's really all we have for this story. Moving on to our next story is J.J. Abrams. Now, from J.J. Abrams, he no longer wants to do reboots. No more. He does not want to be the man of reboots. He's trying to distance himself away from that. And it makes sense, because as of right now, a lot of people think of J.J. Abrams, we think of what? Star Wars. We think of Star Trek. And even though both these films were very successful, he did a great job with both of these films. A lot of people have gripes with Episode 7 about it just being a rehash of A New Hope, and we had people gripes about Star Trek, how they made it too Star Warsy. And they definitely did change Star Trek, but I like it. I always liked Star Trek, even as a little kid. I liked it, but going on to this, I love the new ones a lot more. It was with all the action and everything, I love it a lot more. But he no longer wants to be attached to reboots. He wants to be the guy who comes out with new original projects. And everybody wants to be that. No one wants to be the guy like, oh, he just remakes old stuff. He has no original ideas, which is not true. We see with the what's the Cloverfield? I think it was 44 East Cloverfield. We seen that film how he wants to do more stuff like that, and it's cool. He didn't direct that film, but as far it was his production company. So he wants Bad Robot to do things like that, and I completely understand that. I agree with him. He should be able to go out and make some franchises of his own. So maybe later on in the day, not later on in the day, but later on in his career, he can feel like he has a franchise that he built from the ground up, and that maybe one day other people might come in and want to reboot it or add on to it and help that extend beyond where it's going right now. So I completely agree with what he says about how he no longer wants to be attached to reboots. He doesn't want to do any more reboots. No more reboots. And it's cool. I completely understand. Now, going on to episode 8, the story of the day. This movie is due out the 15th of December this year. And regardless of what you heard, we do not have a title yet. All of these Disney trademark this, Disney trademark that, doesn't mean a thing. Ryan Johnson came out and said, we don't even know the name. Like, we have no subtitles for this film. We're still editing everything together, still figuring out the film, trying to fill it out here and there. We have no clue. And honestly, I believe him. I definitely believe him. And it makes sense that they don't have a title because, like you said, we're still editing the film together. We don't know what they're going to do. It's pretty cool. Like, it definitely makes sense, but I just hope they get everything together before. I just hope they come up with some stuff. Now, he did give us a little information about the film, though. He says he definitely lets us know why he decided to come right after episode 7. There's not going to be any break. He did not want to do a 2-year break. He wanted everybody to see what happened right after that instance. He wanted everybody to be fulfilled with what's going on. So basically, in that next shooting right there, we have Luke come with the revolution of why he's there, what made him come there, why he decided to stay there so long, and I honestly, I'm excited to find out why. We have no idea. In Bloodline, I haven't really read Bloodline yet. I need to get to it. But we shouldn't have to watch Bloodline to figure out why Luke, not watch, but read Bloodline to figure out why Luke is not with the rest of the group. Like, why Luke decided to go out and be this hermit in the middle of nowhere to the fact that everybody had to come search out for him. And he knows his nephew's out here up to no good. I feel like there's a reason why he stood out of it. If he knew that Kylo's out there wreaking havoc, he should have came back, in my personal opinion. There has to be more to why he's not joining everyone and what's his reason behind it. I can't wait to see and find out what his reason is. And only time will tell. We have 12 months, 11 months until we find out. It's crazy to think we're so close to episode 8. It's so, whoa, we're so close, yet we're so far away. Let's tell you only the 10th. Oh, I'm hoping we get there sooner. I can't wait for this film to come out. Now, even going on, he even gave us some information about Rey. So as far as Rey goes, she comes to terms with what's going on with her in the Force. Basically, she has this new thing inside of her that she never knew was there, and now it's a big part of her. It's actually controls her, but it affects everything she does. every aspect of her life is now affected by this thing called the Force. And she has to come to terms with how to control it, how not to be devoured by it or consumed by it. And I think it's a really good thing to do. Like, we've seen Luke struggle with this, like how to use the Force, will manipulate the Force in a way. And hopefully we get to figure out some new things about her. Because obviously she's like a prodigy with the Force. She can grab lightsabers. She can read minds. She could fight. Even though, in my opinion, Kylo was like on the verge of dying, so she beat a half-dead man. But hopefully, we have to figure out why she did this, what's really going on, and what's her true lineage. I think it probably doesn't really matter. There's a lot of speculation that honestly her parents don't really matter. It honestly don't matter, and I still hope she's a Skywalker because back in, I think it's Kathleen Kennedy who came out and said that the episodic films will always be about a Skywalker. Even though they came out recently and said they're trying to figure out if that will always be. But back then she said the episodic films will always be about a Skywalker. Hopefully Kylo's not the only Skywalker. It'd be cool to see other Skywalkers in this universe. And hopefully Rey is one, because we know we're going to find out more about... There's so much we need to find out in this episode. We need to find out more about Kylo. Kylo is going to be more human apparently in episode 8. He's going to have deeper roles for... They're going to fill him out a lot more, which I'm really excited for, because Kylo was honestly my standout character for 7. He's my favorite character, so I can't really wait to see how that turns out for him. And that's really all we have for today, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, stay lost. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, use the hashtag Lost Movie News. We're trying to do viewer questions. It'll be greatly appreciated if you guys send in some of your questions. And as always, stay lost.